is a toast to golfers and volleyball players, but it would be appropriate if you play cards or whatever. May your aim be true, but your laughter louder, whether the ball is in the cup or over the net. And may the company you keep be the best part of your day.
Oh, yes, I forgot. Toast, yeah, toast. Sorry, Mike. Thanks a lot, Mike, and thanks for doing the prayer. We're going to start with the golf awards first. And what a crazy season it's been. January set record cold days. We've been here 18 years and we never had a January like that. What do we have, Clint? 3 golf cancellations, at least 3, including one in February. And even the past week, Clint's group and my group, we quit after 9 holes due to the cold wind, our watery eyes up there at Kings Gate. But I understood Lonnie's group, they finished the 18, so congratulations. Before we have our ceremony, I apologize for having few awards this year, but it's due to budgetary restraints. Actually, I wanted to have a special assessment, $1 per household for awards, but it was voted down by our board. As Dave said, money's tight this year, Larry, and I understand. I want to thank Clint Drollinger for faithfully organizing our Kings Gate group again this year. And Joan Redan for organizing the Blue Heron group. Joan, you found them a new home from Seminole Lakes, they raised the price to $59, and Joan went and found them a new home. I think we followed another group that was already there, but thanks for doing that, Joan. And I also know there's other smaller groups, and thanks to all those who helped organize those groups. I want to thank my Golf Awards Committee, who met with me last weekend to finalize our choices, and my wife can actually attest. We had a meeting which took place in the dining room last Sunday. Is that correct, honey? All right, so some people think I just pull names out of a hat. Well, that's not true. And their choices were unanimous. And I also did consult other golfers from the main group, so it's just not helter-skelter. For the first golf award, it's a very prestigious one. It's called the Pond Award. It's presented each year to the golfer who has been seen hitting the most balls in the ponds and losing them, of course. And after consulting several groups, this year's recipient is Kay Tyler. Would you please come out? And actually, I ordered a pond on Amazon, but I didn't check the size. This is what Amazon sent me. Put it around her neck, and then I got something else. But Kay, you also get a second award, and that's a medallion. And this is from being the best golf cheerleader, as when one of her teammates makes a shot, she yells with her outside voice, "Great shot," all the time. So you get a gold medallion as well.
I don't think she beat you out of the water.
Congratulations, Kay.
Thank you so much.
Actually, the ponds are way down this year. Well, we know Lake Eureka, so one can actually go into a pond onto the now exposed beaches at the edge and hit the ball out. And I've done this several times this year without losing a stroke. The next award is also very special. And it was donated years ago by Ray Crotto, who unfortunately has moved back to Canada. And he made this. It's called the Sand Trap Award. And the player seen most often, and this is consulting with groups, hitting her ball in the sand trap this year, more than the guys, is Gina Drollinger. Would you please come up? Gina also gets a second award, a gold medallion that she's wearing now. She's just started playing golf, and she's become a very good player, and she has done well. And she has been voted the most improved golfer. So this is your second award, Gina. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Lonnie was wondering why I was hounding him to buy tickets the last couple of weeks. And this is why, Lonnie. I know you were going to a ball game, you had all kinds of excuses, but we wanted Gina present to receive her awards. Lonnie could have actually stayed at home. And also, the last couple of weeks, the women's group has been down at Kings Gate. And Clint assigned Lonnie to golf with Gina and the ladies. And this has created some jealousy and dissension among some of us men golfers. Well, Lonnie, a bit of bad news for you is your brother Clint, who is our Kingsgate golf organizer, due to my efforts organizing this banquet, has given me the opportunity to play with Gina and the girls next week. A one-time invitation that I have accepted. Hopefully with your blessings, Lonnie. Okay, thanks a lot, Clint, for giving me that honor. Okay, we have a new lady golfer in our community this year, Carol Cook from Newport, Maine, who is a very good friend of Dave and Gloria Hitchings. Her and her late husband had lived up the road at Herons Glen for 25 years, and I believe they had a condo in Fort Myers at one time. She is renting in Jim and Patsy Sharp's home this winter on Lofty Lane. Carol was always an avid golfer, and her skills did not go unnoticed at Blue Heron Group. She was a player who was the most often always got closest to the pin. Among other feats, Carol, please come up for your award as closest to the pin player. The awards committee has spoken. Yeah.
Thank you.
I want this in a prominent place.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much.
We have a new award this year for a very special and unique achievement, which happened in mid-February at Kingsgate on hole 12. One of our golfers was attempting to clear a pond, and he hit a ball dead center in the middle of an exposed drainage pipe. A feat we've never seen before. So I'd like to call up Jeff White for the first ever pipe award. He gets a medallion too. Yeah. To our surprise, Jeff actually took his retriever, and here's what he tried to fetch the ball out of the drainage pipe, and this is what we're afraid would have happened. Fortunately, there was nothing in the drain pipe. And very risky choice, Jeff. Actually, he tried the same shot a week later, but he missed the drainage pipe, was unsuccessful. Okay, now we get a little more serious. One of our most special golf awards this year is our hole-in-one recipient, and we only had one hole-in-one this year, and that is Joyce Bryant. Joyce, would you please come up? Joyce scored this historic shot on hole 2, a 93-yard drive with a 9-iron at Kingsgate in Port Charlotte on November the 20th. By the way, this is her second hole-in-one. 2 years ago at Deltura, she also scored a hole-in-one. Congratulations, Joyce. Imagine she had 2 hole-in-ones, and I struggle each week to get a par. It's always been on my bucket list, a hole-in-one. Now it's just to get a par without a mulligan. So congratulations, Joyce. Another new award this year, donated by Darzant's, is future son-in-law. It's called the Fountain View Terrific Golfer of the Year Award. And the committee looked at many golfers for this award at our meeting last Sunday, and we especially looked at our senior group, and we looked for one who's golfed for many years. He's a good golfer here in Florida and up home. So the golfer we selected is a good golfer, highly skilled, and he actually organized Seminole Lakes group at one time, helped with the golf banquet. I want to call up this year's recipient. First time the new Fountain View Terrific Golfer of the Year is Frank DeSantis. Well deserved, Frank. Here's your certificate.
Oh, this is beautiful.
We need it back next year for the next terrific golfer, okay? You can keep the certificate. You ladies racked up most of the golf awards this year. I hope us men raise the bar a bit next year and get up on the podium in more numbers with the ladies. Thank you, Joan. Okay, I'm going to call up Jeannie Bowles from the Fountain View Volleyball Club to help me with the 2026 Volleyball Awards. You volleyball players, by the way, are much more resilient. You had no weather cancellations compared to the golfers this year, so congratulations. Before we go to the Volleyball Awards, I'm going to make a shout out to SIGFAST. Since Tammy Gamble's here, their chairperson is present. And here's a volleyball club wish list for next season, Tammy. As you are aware, volleyball is growing in numbers sport and an important amenity in our park. I'll be putting this in a formal written request, Tammy, to you and your committee, but wanted to give you a heads up so you could digest the team's wishes. First and foremost, we'd like Lee County elected to come in our park and bury the wires overhead our volleyball court. As they're interfering with our serves, and we have to reserve the ball many times during a game. Not sure of the cost on that, but I can check it out for you. Secondly, Tammy, we'd like a mesh fence like the one at the golf range installed at least 20 feet high along the perimeter of the bordering bush of the volleyball court to prevent our ball from entering this area, as many golfers are getting scratches retrieving the ball going into these bushes, which are quite prickly. Thirdly, we would like bleachers installed where the two benches are, and maybe we would get more spectators. Our biggest spectator turnout this season was 2. We would like, Tammy, referees hired to help enforce volleyball rules, which some of our players continue to break, and also keep score for us, which we always mess up and we're always arguing about the score. Lastly, Tammy, we'd like a couple of cameras installed in the overhead trees to help us look at video replays and make more precise calls when the ball lands near the lines. You can also throw in a new net, a couple new volleyballs, and maybe a new rake for Cubby. And Cubby, thank you again for your prestigious grooming of the court. It's amazing what the gig is. And thanks, Tammy, for you and your committee for your anticipated consideration. Okay, now on to the awards. This year it was really tough for the committee to select the Rookie of the Year. We had 3 outstanding rookies in the lineup this season. So we looked at each one of these players over several weeks. We looked at videos, trying to decide who had made the most progress. Who had made the most skill development? Who was now ready to be a starter instead of riding the bench waiting for one of us veterans to falter or get injured? Who was ready to step up to the big league? Well, the committee was gridlocked. So we decided all 3 rookies this season will be the Fountain View Volleyball Club Rookies of the Year for 2026. I want to call up Joey and Kathy Romano and Carol Johnson. We actually drafted Carol out in Wisconsin and found Joey and Kathy playing in a volleyball beer league in Indiana. Congratulations. Whoops. Wow. You really made a lot of improvements, all of you. Thank you. Kathy.
Thank you so much.
Oh, we're so proud of you, Joey.
Thank you.
The medallion.
No, they really did come a long way. If you would have saw them in January to now. The committee also looked at a few new categories this year. One being for a player maybe who hasn't played too much, but showed promise in the games they played. And this is a player, hopefully someday will be a regular player as they spend more time in the park and replace some of us veterans when we retire. This year's most promising player, she only played a few weeks in January, is Lydia Yuha. Would you come up, Lydia, please? For the most she came and played while her husband was fixing a porch. We expect you to play the next few weeks you're here, Lydia. You did show promise on some games. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You got to show up Monday.
I'm coming.
And by the way, Peter and Lydia flew down from Buffalo this morning to attend this banquet. I had the pleasure of going to the airport and picking them up, and she did not know about the award. So how many people fly down to this banquet? We also have another unique award this year. It's called the Most Surprising Player Award. This award goes to a player who basically comes out of nowhere and surprises all his teammates with extraordinary skills. And obviously this player comes with a wealth of experience. This year's winner actually only played with the team for a couple of weeks and is a new resident in the park. I would like to call up Flo Cabral to receive his player for the Most Surprising Player Award.
Thank you.
Could you stay here for a minute, Flo? I just want to share a little bit of information about Flo. By the way, him and his wife, Eduarda, bought Raymond and Denise's lot. They have the motorhome over on Caravan. Flo has been playing volleyball since he was 13. At 17, he earned a spot on the Portuguese national volleyball team. And shortly after, his family immigrated to Massachusetts, and he continued competing at the national level and with teams until the age 30. A few years ago, he shifted to beach volleyball and played with several 2-on-2 tournaments. And when his daughters reached middle school age, he introduced them to Junior Olympics program and began coaching teams in New Bedford, Massachusetts. And he also has been coaching high school volleyball, so we're very proud to have Flo living in our park. Thank you, Flo. Congratulations. The awards committee had to make another difficult selection this year, selecting our most valuable player on the team. It was a challenging selection. We deliberated for hours. Who is the Fountain View Volleyball Player of the Year? Who carries the team? Who is top in all skills? Who is the key in their team's wins? Who moves fast? Who sacrifices all for a win? Who demonstrates the best sportsmanship and leadership? Who motivates their players? It was a tough decision, but this year the committee decided 2 players deserve the award, and there are a couple. I want to call up Todd and Laura Bundak. They really do deserve this. They are amazing. I want to congratulate Laura and Todd. I actually always try to be on their team when I get there, not just because of their skill level, but they also chase the ball from me when it goes out of bounds. And I don't have to run with my feeble and tiring body. I wish Todd and Laura, I wish those 2 could have seen me when I arrived here 18 years ago in Fountain View. I was amazing, one of the best players. Our last award, it's a special one for sports, for both sports we're celebrating tonight. We have a volleyball player who has played this year regularly despite health challenges he has faced. He has showed up regularly and played extremely well. He has been an inspiration to us all, and we admire his dedication, sacrifice, and resilience. And unfortunately, he's not feeling well and can't be here tonight. So I'm going to call up his sister, Bobby, to come and receive for John Kramer the Most Resilient Player Award for 2026. And you'll give this to your brother. Thanks a lot. I'm sorry he can't come, but he's an inspiration to all of us. And as I announced last year, but I am stepping down as coordinator of this event. First of all, Nancy and I have been here for 18 years, and our time is running out. Although we hope to be here for another year or 2, God willing. Also, I have a much increased workload on the videos I've been doing on park activities, as well as promoting park events, and I'd like to dedicate a little more time to that, even though this isn't a big job, and it's had a great support team, and Joan and everyone else that's helped has been wonderful. So this is my final year, so I'm sure someone will step up. I've kept careful records of the event, financial statements, and I think probably it needs new blood and some new ideas. And I also have had a request from Mike Pierce from the pickleball group to join this banquet next year. I think it's a good idea. We could call it a sports banquet for the 3 sports of golf, volleyball, and pickleball. But we'll let the new organizers decide on that. And of course, we must leave bocce and shuffleboard alone with their own banquet due to their large numbers. I'm sure, Cubby, you'd agree with that, because there's 200 people came to the bocce banquet. So I think before we go, if anybody has time, thanks a lot for coming and enjoy the rest of the evening.